guys, it's Olivia. So I have been accepted for the Disney College Program Fall 2016 in the role of merchandise. I applied on January 12th, that's the day the applications dropped. I had my phone interview January 20th, which was, I applied on Tuesday, had my web-based interview that day as well, had my phone interview that next Wednesday, and then I got accepted February 22nd, which was a Monday. So today I thought I would tell you about the application and the web-based interview because some parts were a little bit different than I was expecting. So first off, I was so surprised when the applications dropped. In the past 3 years, they have dropped on the 23rd, 24th, or 25th of January. So I was really surprised when they dropped the 12th. Like, I was expecting to have 2 more weeks before that happened. But it dropped, and so I got home as soon as I could, and I applied. So yeah, first off, it's going to ask you a lot of basic information, your name, your address, what school you go to, how many years you've completed, and then it's going to ask you your work history. And for work history, they do say you can put down like volunteer positions or things that are relevant to the DCP. So for example, what I put down, I wrote down the job that I currently have, which was, okay, it finished like this week because Sports Awards banquet was this week, but high school cheerleading coach. And so I wrote that down since that's my current job. I wrote down a job that I had the summer before I started college, which was cashier / barista at a cafe. And you also put your roles, or like what you did. So for that, I made sure to say, you know, what's a nice way to say dealt with guests or customers? Customer service, maybe? Yeah. So I wrote that, you know, experience with a cash register, making drinks, prepping food, making food, all that stuff. Things that I thought were relevant skills to the Disney College program. And then for my third one, those are the only jobs I've had. So I wrote down that I was a Davis cheerleader last year. And yeah, that's not a job, but I felt it was important for them to know because now they know, okay, she is used to conforming to a certain look. Okay, she is used to smiling all the time. She's used to being on her feet. She's used to keeping a positive attitude no matter what the situation is around her. She's used to being, you know, an ambassador to her school, you know, knows that when she's in that uniform, she's representing her school and not herself. So like, you know, if you're having a bad day, if you're a cheerleader and you're walking in a parade, you can't be frowning. Like, you're happy, you're excited about your school. So I thought that was important, especially since I did do that in college. So I made sure to write that down. They also asked you your language skills. So I wrote for Spanish, okay, there was like conversational, fluent, and maybe like beginner. So I think I put conversational for Spanish because I did take 3 years of it in high school. And then I wrote beginner for German because I've taken 10 weeks of it. And then once I get down to the program, I will take a test to see if I can have a little pin that says like, oh, I speak your language. So yeah, that. And then the most important, well, the most exciting part of the application is choosing your roles. Now, the format of this is different than it was for spring 2016, and I know that because I started the spring 2016 application just to see what it was like, see if I needed to do any last minute, I don't know, things before I actually applied. So first thing, before you apply, you want to make sure you go to the Disney College Program website and look at all of the roles. I had looked at all of them over Christmas break. That's all I did on Christmas break was look up phone interviews and web interviews and blah 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 blah. But they changed some of the roles. So for example, at Walt Disney World in Florida, for the like hotels, they used to have hospitality, concierge, and I think housekeeping. But at Disneyland, they had like concierge, front desk, bellhop, and then housekeeping. So they changed it. So now instead of Disney World having hospitality and concierge, they changed hospitality to being front desk, since that's what they did anyway. So little changes like that. They also added like, I think it's called event coordinator, but you apparently help out with like Epcot Food and Wine Festival and like, I don't know what other events there are because I've never been, but events like that you help out with. Floral arrangement, vacation planner, that might be the same. But yeah, just make sure you go and look at the roles again. And this time, okay, so in the past, they had written down all the roles, then you said either no interest, low interest, moderate interest, or high interest. But this time, you got to choose what roles were on your application, and then you put low, moderate, or high interest. Now there's a lot of different ways people go about this. Some people say, oh, the best way to do this is write every single role down and give, high interest for all of them. I personally didn't do that. I put high interest for character performer and character attendant, moderate interest for front desk and attractions, and low interest for Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and merchandise. So those are the only roles that I put. Yeah, if you just want any job at the DCP, then go ahead and put all of them, but you don't have to. I'm not getting credit for this internship, so I knew I only wanted to put down roles that I would be ecstatic and super happy to do, and roles that I couldn't necessarily have here at Davis. So I would recommend, though, putting one of the larger roles down. So merchandise, or quick service food and beverage, or custodial, or attractions. I definitely say put one of those down, because if you only put down Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, character attendant, and front desk, and that's it, then you might not get chosen, because each of those roles only add like a couple of people. Those are really specialized roles, so I would recommend putting one of the larger roles down. That is personally what I got. But I'm so happy with my role. Coming to think about it, I've never been to Walt Disney World, so it'd kind of be horrible if I was a front desk person, because I've never been and don't know what's going on. If I was at Disneyland, I think I could do that. And then, yeah, I don't mind doing merchandise. I think that would be so much fun. But anyway, yeah, this is part of the application where you write that down to be as picky or as not picky as you want. Also here on the application is where you'll say if you want to do fall or fall advantage. The difference is fall starts, your dates can be in August or the beginning of September. You all end on January 5th, at least right now. We all end on January 5th. Then fall advantage, you start in May or June and go all the way to January 5th. So if you're on the semester system, you can do fall advantage. If you're graduating a quarter early, you can do fall advantage. But if you're on the quarter system, you can't really do fall advantage because that's in the middle of your spring quarter. So just wait till fall. Also in here is where you'll say if you want to do Disneyland or Disney World or no preference. And then in your phone interview, you can tell them, oh, can I switch to fall? Or, oh, I would only like to be considered for Walt Disney World, or whatever. So that's the application. Then you will hit submit, and then you wait for an email. Now, in all the other videos I'd watched, they were like, oh, you receive an email immediately, and then you can, then 2 days later do your web-based interview. Okay, you do not receive an email immediately. I was waiting and waiting and waiting to get an email that told me I had moved on, and it was more than immediately. So about 45 minutes went by after I had submitted my initial application, and then I did receive an email, but it said, thanks Olivia for your interest. We are sincerely, appreciative of it. We do, however, have a lot of applications to go through. So, the latest you'll find out is April 15th, whether you move on, but we genuinely, sincerely thank you for your interest in our company. So I got the email and I was like, is that a rejection letter? Because it sounds like it, but they never flat out said that I was rejected. So about 45 minutes after that first email, I got another email that said, thank you Olivia, you are a candidate for our web-based interview. And they gave me the link and they said, you have any time in the next 72 hours to fill out this link and do our web-based interview survey thing. So I was really shocked that they gave me a link, because in previous videos it had seemed that they email you and you set up a time to take your interview, but they gave me a link and I had 72 hours to complete it. So I was like, you know what, I'm ready. It's only like 5 p.m. I've got energy, I'm awake, I'm as ready now as I'm gonna be tomorrow or the next day. So let's just take this now. So I did watch a quick YouTube video before to remind me of things. One of the things, okay, so basically the web-based interview, it's like 6 different parts, and it's like a survey. It's like a Likert scale survey. So it'll say strongly disagree, disagree neutral, agree, strongly agree, or very unlike me, sometimes like me, or like me, very much like me. Different things like those kind of scales. So there's 6 different parts to it. It's not a Skype interview. I think it used to be like in 2010, but it's not. It's like surveys. So there's 6 different parts, and yeah, like for one part you'll have like 20 seconds to answer each question. For the next part you'll have 40 seconds to answer each question, and then it flip-flops like that. So your first section is situational questions, and so the only one I remember, which is because they say it on every single of these videos talking about the web-based interview, is you're watching a kid and he's playing with a hammer and he hits his thumb and he starts crying and crying and crying. What do you do? A, yell at him for being loud. B, go and comfort him. C, yell at the parent to get the kid to stop. Or D, tell him a joke, try to get his mind off of it. So obviously you're not going to say yell at the kid or yell at the parent. I honestly don't know which one's the right answer for the other two. They both sound good to me. But it's questions like that. And then, like for the like me, unlike me part, it'll say like, I am always on time. And of course, you're applying for a job, and if you're working at Disney, you should always be on time. So you're gonna say very much like me. But then they will change it up and say like, I am never on time. So then you have to make sure to say very unlike me. So do watch out. They will switch the questions around. It's not tricky. As long as you read the question, you're fine. They just don't want to get you in a response set bias where you're just like strongly agree, strongly agree, strongly agree, strongly agree. They want you to actually read the question. So yeah, that's the web-based interview. Like I said, 6 different questions. I was so nervous for mine. That was the most nervous I've ever been in my entire life. I think I was more nervous for that than the phone interview. I was so extremely nervous because, like, you know, each step in this process is like, this is the most important step so far. This is the make or break point. So, yeah. But it was no big deal. The last section of it was really awesome, really fun. And then right away after you finish it, at least for me, right away after I finished it, a new screen popped up, and it said, congratulations, Olivia, you are a strong candidate for our phone interview. We will be sending you an email shortly so you can schedule your phone interview. And then within the hour, I got an email to schedule my phone interview, and I scheduled it for the next Wednesday. So yeah, it was a crazy day. That night and the whole next week before my interview, I had trouble falling asleep because I'd be like, oh my gosh, the Walt Disney World Company wants to have a phone interview with me. They potentially want to hire me. And it's just crazy because like this spring break will be exactly 3 years since I first found out about the program and since I first watched YouTube videos about it and first became obsessed with it. And it's like, now they want me. And like, I've already accepted a position. Like, I will be working at Walt Disney World in the fall. And that is crazy. And it took, my mom and I went to Seattle this last weekend. Well, we went for like less than 24 hours. But it took going to that and stepping away from school for a minute to realize like, oh my gosh, I'm actually going. It's like when I'm at school, it's like, ugh, all I ever do is school. I'm never gonna get out of this place. But when I took a step back, I was like, super happy. So yeah, anyway, those are all my tips, or not tips, but like that's what the application and the web-based interview were like for me. Yeah, the changes, for web-based interview, this is important. They want you to either do strongly agree or strongly disagree. They want you to have an opinion. So don't just put agree, disagree, neutral. Don't put those. They want you to put either strongly agree or strongly disagree. That is something that they say in like every single video, and I think it's true because, I don't know, it worked for me and it seems to be working for everybody else. If occasionally you have to put one of the 3 in the middle, like, that's okay because sometimes that happens, but, you know, 95% of your answers should be strongly agree, strongly disagree, very much like me, not at all like me. They want you to have an opinion, and they want to get a sense of if your values align with the company's values. So yeah, make sure you do that. But yep, that's all I have for the application and the web-based interview. If you have any questions about it, totally feel free to comment below. Obviously, I can't tell you, like, all of the questions for the web-based interview, but the ones I gave you should be able to get, like, a sense of what it's going to be like. So I have 2 finals tomorrow and 1 next week, so I'm gonna go study for that. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Remember to keep dreaming out loud. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. Let me know if you want me to write my Instagram anywhere. Right now it's on private, and I don't know how I feel about other people that I don't know following me. Let me know if that's a thing or not. I don't know. If you don't want to follow me, I won't be offended, I promise. Yeah, let me know if that's a thing that you guys want me to write anywhere. So yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome day. Keep dreaming out loud, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!